It has been 6 years. 6 long years. I know I should have done this for 5 years, because 5 years is a nice round number, 5-year anniversary, but you know, last year I couldn't be fucking arsed or something, so I was too busy. But this year, we're fucking doing it, okay? There's shit I should be getting around to doing that I never got round to do, and we're gonna watch the stuff today. But anyway, 6 years ago to this day, on July the 8th, 2012, I found this video for the first time and watched it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And the 2 subsequent videos on here that follow it, I watched the 3 of those that day. Just those 3, and I laughed so hard. I remember my stomach was hurting, my 6-pack was fucking aching. Like, I didn't have one, but I mean, like, you could feel a 6-pack growing. I mean, I haven't laughed like that in fucking years. And I know now that I've seen everything in YouTube poop, you know, I've seen it all, I've seen it a million times, it's not going to be as funny. I've seen this video and these other videos many, many times, so they're not going to be that funny. And I've seen all the tropes and jokes, I know them all too well, so it's not going to be that funny. But I still want to watch them again, just to bring it full circle and look back upon it after all these years to see if I could still get one good laugh out of this video. I know I will have, you know, it's still worth watching, there's still something to smile about after all this time. It's not all lost, because I'm starting to think I can't watch any poops anymore, because I just don't find them funny, and I feel like I've lost my sense of humour or something. I'm kind of scared about that. If I can get one decent laugh out of this, then you know. Okay, here we go. Let's watch this shit. Fucking annotations.
Give the child a cruel name, a name that means half-formed. Mama Luigi!
Okay. Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, that's what you get for sleeping with your mouth open.
There goes.
Oh my god. It's bad.
Perhaps he's sick.
It's reversed. What is this? Did I find this funny? No. It gets better, I swear. It's like showing it to your friends. I swear it gets better. I know you're not laughing now, but I swear it gets good. Just keep watching, man. Just keep watching. It gets funny. No, I swear it does, though.
No!
I remember that no being very fucking hilarious to me back in the day, because I didn't know it was Robotnik saying no. It was just a random voice clip of no that I've never heard before, and it was really funny because it fit the reaction he wanted to give. I found shit as simple as that hilarious. Though I guess these days I do still find certain simple stuff hilarious anyway, so I guess that doesn't really... whatever. God. Alfred Hitchcock presents? What's that about?
To attend the festival.
Me? No, the Pope.
I noticed every time he's about to do a stutter loop or a repeating clip, he like pauses for a second. I don't know if that's to add emphasis. Some of them were, like the stare down. That one just seemed for no purpose. It's like you just stop it for half a second and then do it. I don't know.
You can learn to have various regional cheeses.
Solo, that's what that is, yeah. Dragon falls through the fire and the flames. I remember when I first heard that, I was like, whoa, that song is awesome, what is it? Before I started watching YouTube, I had a very fucking loose grasp on pop culture, especially as it comes to the internet. I barely knew anything. Every time I heard Spadina jokes, I didn't know what they were, I never heard them before. And various songs and stuff, not memes, because it wasn't really a thing at the time, it wasn't really that big a deal. The only thing that were memes were impact text font images, captions, but these references that would always be chucked around in YouTube poop over the years back then, I didn't know what any of them were. So when I first heard them, it's like, oh, there's funny random quotes and lines of dialogue. Of course, now I know it all too well. 6 years later, it's like, okay, yeah, we know this shit, but back then, hearing it for the first time, it was definitely an experience. For someone who's never heard the Spadina clips before, it might actually be funnier in some ways.
Does he mean ever?
Never ever. And he hates the
Valentine's Day Carnival.
He would my ass if I asked to go. Who says you gotta ask?
Oh no.
Yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no. You're right. I'll go.
So bad! Why do I find it so funny?
I'll get cleaned up.
No offense to Mobros though, I love Mobro Studios. I'm not trying to give him shit by saying, oh, your video sucks. I think he's pretty aware that this video isn't exactly his best work, because he classes it as his very old videos that he knows is, You know, they have not aged well. But I swear, I remember this being a fucking masterpiece when I first watched it. What happened?
I'll stroll down those stairs. I'll march through the doors and...
What a nightmare.
Good morning, cousin.
Don't find this funny. I sound like I'm laughing, but I'm just laughing at the fact that I used to find this funny and I don't now. I don't understand. I'm like, haha, I don't get it. I mean, not that I don't get the joke, it's that I don't get why I can't find anything funny now I didn't find funny all that time ago.
Master.
That's a nice picnic basket you got there. Shut up!
Shall we review your alphabet today?
Oh, yes, Master.
Very well. A.
Blasphemy.
But I know all Paris is burning because you don't know your alphabet.
Sorry, sir.
I know it's funny, but I can't laugh because I've seen it. It's not that I've been desensitized to YouTube. In this case, it's definitely because I've seen this video too many times. I know all the jokes before I know what's going to happen before it fucking happens, man. I know what's coming. So I can't find it funny because I've watched it too many damn times. Damn.
This whole city. The world.
I wonder where he got that hate clip from. Is that even Frollo's voice, or is it just taken from somewhere else?
Your face.
Your face.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit. It's just... Okay, that's funny, because it's just the CDI clips. I love it. I find it hilarious when, in like old CDI Spadina videos, they use any character to sentence mix a voice of dialogue. Like, say it's the King or Link speaking. They won't just sentence mix Link or the King for their voices. They'll just use anyone's voice. It'll just be a random mishmash of fucking the King, Link, Zelda, Hotel Mario, and random other Robotnik and other clips just thrown in together to make a sentence that's supposed to be spoken by one character. That shit, I know that's really... Technically, it's really poor, but I find that shit hilarious in itself. There's a charm to it in old Spadina poops. There's a little bit of a charm to like that aspect of like using all different characters to mix one piece of dialogue. But yeah.
Oh! Naughty horse. Naughty.
What is this?
You know,
This is substance. What's going on?
my last captain of the guard was a bit of a disappointment to me.
Have mercy.
Okay, it's fucking the guy from the CDI shit.
No matter, I'm sure you'll...
I'm losing to a bird.
Your captain.
Gay people. The gay people.
Live outside the normal order. Their heathen ways inflame the people's lowest instincts, and they must
Die.
Okay, that was done quite well.
Have you
I love he just puts these random clips in, like he's pooping generally throughout the video. He's pooping the movie in chronological order. He starts at the early scenes and then he gets to the scene with Frollo and Phoebus and he goes on and on. So he doesn't just jump back and forth with random scenes. There is like a progression to this poop and flow as it goes through the movie and poops the film. But there's these random clips between every, like, that I say breaks up the quote-unquote scenes of poop. There's like different scenes and he keeps breaking it up with these random little gags with the gargoyles that mean nothing and come out of nowhere. And then it returns to the scenes again. It almost works because it kind of breaks it up and introduces like it makes a kind of flow, because every time you're done with the scene, it doesn't just go to the next one. It has a little quick silly gag and then it gets back to it. It kind of adds a little variety. Even if it's not funny, it's a little refresher from the main course. I don't know. Let's picture someone eating a big meal when it's hot and they take a drink every so often. That's what that's like. It's like the quick sip of drink. That's kind of what that's like. I don't know. I like my food metaphors.
attended a peasant festival, Captain?
I'm going to take fucking ages to watch these. I just realised I've got so much to say that I can't even get through a 5-minute video without taking like 20 minutes. It's going to take me all damn day to watch those collabs. His face.
Look at that disgust.
I never remembered the video quite. I know I keep pausing it with random shit to say it's not even to do with what I'm watching, but I never realised just how low quality the video was. This is highest quality, by the way, 480p, and even then, the rip of the video, the film that he used, I mean, look at it. It's really like, I never remembered it being this low quality. You always remember it better. It's like video game graphics when you're in childhood, like the 90s and the early noughties. It was like shit graphics, but you remember it looking awesome. I just got fucking Mandela'd by this shit.
Display.
That's a good joke, I like that. Okay, got a good laugh, that's a good laugh. Okay, this video still has funny jokes in it. What a woman. Just sped up.
Touché. I'm Phoebus. It means sexy
man. Yeah, I still remember all the jokes, but some of them are still funny to this day. That one, yes sir, with fucking the dude on the pole. That was good. That was a good joke. Probably one of the best jokes so far. Oh. There's so many stare downs in this.
Now arrest her. Claim sanctuary.
Say it! Say it! Say it! Yeah, I know it's coming. It's not even that funny. Oh, that's how you know it's an old video. Why did he do that? You see what I mean? Like, I could understand a clip where someone's hitting another character and they repeat it so he hits him multiple times. Like that. But why did he loop that clip of Frollo hiding behind the column? Like, nothing's happening. He's just moving. Why did he loop it 3 times? You see what I mean? There's so many random decisions in this video. And that kind of makes it funnier, almost. There's something about it that actually inadvertently makes it funny again. Okay.
Do me.
Do me. Practically fuck, there it is.
Hi there.
The reason why I found this shit so funny back when I first watched it was because I'd seen this film. It was my favourite film, right, this film, and I'd seen it so many times already, so I knew what every bit of dialogue, what every scene in the film did. I knew what was going to happen. Like this poop today, I knew everything, every joke and every line that's going to happen before it happens. I know it off by heart. So when you see a YouTube poop of it, it's just like a hilarious parody. I didn't see it like a ear rape and psychedelic in-your-face shit that people like to think of YouTube poop as back in the day was just irritating, obnoxious. I never thought of YouTube poop like that because I know there are videos like that, but I never thought of it like that because when I first discovered it, this is what I watch. I watch what is essentially parody mashups, which I consider YouTube poop to be at its heart. But I don't look at it like some irritable, obnoxious, crazy or trippy multi-cut. It doesn't have to have all that. It's just these silly jokes that mock the film, that take the mick out of it. That's what I found funniest, when they just make fun of what the original film was gonna do, and they make them do something else, or say something else, or they reference something, and it's just great. That's my favourite form of humour, still to this day, that's my favourite kind. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's my fucking brew, I'll tell you. Anyway, so yeah, he said he's gonna say to have a friend like you, complimenting Quasi, right? And then he's like to have a friend like me, and it's the fucking king on top of it. He could have just picked a dialogue where he says me throughout the film, but no, he uses the damn king as well.
She's very lucky. Why? To have a friend like me.
Me. And he gets angry and he dies. Just the shot of him looking terrified is great. Die. When I overanalyze the shit, I end up laughing at it harder, because even though explaining a joke is supposed to kill it, sometimes it makes it funnier, because I'm really delving deep into why this joke is funny, and I'm laughing more about it because of it. Anyway.
The nerve of him, snooping around,
Yeah, obvious joke.
trying to steal your
Dinner.
Trying to steal your dinner. God, that's hilarious. No, I didn't find that funny at all. It's such a simple, it's just reversed and sped up and pitched up, but I found this funny just because of how silly Quasi sounds when he's singing in this way. Yeah. Or is it just sped up? It sounds like it's reversed, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Throw low, yeah! And speaking of that, I got to get to watching a certain something else. Today we're going to be watching the Rosen birthday collabs that I haven't seen yet, but at some point I'm also going to be watching you already know what. But just by looking at this image, you know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. If you know me and you know what I like, there's a certain series of a certain show that I certainly need to be watching, and I need to catch up on, so that will also eventually be watched. Also 6 years in the making, because I watched that around the same time after discovering YouTube poop.
Beata Maria, you know I'd smoke so much weed. I see
Oh, nice
fire.
what you got here. Can I have it?
No.
The devil's in my
Fireplace.
Hey, Judge! Yes, sir!
Is this the part where we start kicking?
No! Get out, you idiot!
Judge?
Shut up!
Judge?
Shut up!
Judge?
Shut up!
Judge?
I mean, it makes sense because in this film he is the judge, so I mean it works. Unless the guy's saying George, I don't remember the original clip. Is it? I can't fucking remember what it is.
Idiot!
It reversed again. What was that? Hang on, wait. I want to see what that was. That was very fast. It said drugs. Okay. Zelda? I mean, the king comes in and says, "You will not touch her." Yeah, I remember this part. Yeah. Yeah, because I always thought this made a lot of sense because he looks like... I didn't even know about the king or the characters at the time when I first watched it, but it looked like it made sense because he looks like the fucking character that says it in the actual film. You will not touch her. It actually sounds like the king a little bit. So it kind of works.
That if I have to bomb all of Hyrule...
No!
No! Oh, that's a nice little map. Great visual effects, and that fucking scene from SpongeBob with the explosion in the water. Everyone uses that. Burn, because it burns. Yeah, I never actually got that joke. Now I get it. So I haven't watched this in a long time, so... I said I watched this a lot, but I haven't watched it recently, and that's it, isn't it? Yeah. Honestly, there's not that many good jokes in it, at least upholding to this day. Maybe back in the day, most of these jokes were fucking great, but I think most of them have not aged well. There's so many Spadina references and like snooping as usual, trying to steal your dinner. Like it fits, but it's not really funny. It's just dinner. It's random. It doesn't really make any sense to the scene in the film. There's nothing to do with the dinner. If it was during the lunch scene with Frollo and Quasi, then it would make a little more sense because there's food on the table, food and drink. There'd be dinner. That would make more sense. But just shoving the word dinner in a random sentence somewhere without any food-related scene, it's not funny, because it's just that, and some people might find that funny, I don't know, again, it's not my cup of tea, so, some of the jokes, though, were great, like the, look at that disgusting display, and it cuts to fucking the dude Cloppin, or whatever his name is, doing the fucking, on the pole, and then, yes, sir, that's a good joke, and I can't even remember half because there's so many fucking gags. The bit where Phoebus dies and he kills him. He's like, to have a friend like me, and he gets angry and fucking kills him. I just love how editing the clips can set up. It's not even like story based, but simple edits like that can create a completely different storyline. Quasi gets angry and kills Phoebus. Look, that didn't happen, but it looked like it happened just because of those simple cuts. It wasn't even elaborately made. It was just simple. But yeah, it was okay. I say this is one of those poops that at the time is a lot better than it is today. On July 8th, 2012, I discovered the best art form the world has ever known, YouTube poop. And I became a huge fan ever since, soon to make one of my own. This was the first one I ever watched, indeed. And we're going to watch the next two. I know this is a long as fuck video, but I might actually have to make this a separate video because this is just going to take so long. If the beginning was a bit slow, I apologise, but I didn't know what to do and how to start it. But now that we're getting into it, as soon as I start getting into a video, I'm mad comfortable. Let's do it. I don't know if I was going to explain my whole story, but it was because of my interest in this film and the character Frollo. I looked up videos of him on YouTube. That's how I found the YouTube Oops, and that's how I found the Frollo Show, and that's also how I found Nostalgia Critic as well. It's all because of this movie and this one character. I have him to thank for a lot of things, including my fucking channel. My channel's existence to this day. It's all because of this character. Anyway, I think this one's funnier. I could never decide between the two back in the day, but I think this one's better made. I think it holds up a little better. But we're going to watch it and find out. Let's make sure it's on highest quality, 480p. But that's about HD back then. Anyway, Gertelish. Gotta love Gertelish. He made a few Disney poops back in the day. And I loved them. But this was probably this was definitely my favourite video of his. He's more well known for Woody Trips Over Garlic Bread, the Toy Story poop he made. But this was definitely my favourite video from him. Let's see if it holds up. Just making sure my spacebar works. Okay, but the quality looks a bit better, I'll be honest. Doesn't matter anyway. Who is that? I don't even know who that is. To this day, I don't know who that is. Reverse search it, but I don't fucking know who that is. I found that fucking hilarious back when I watched that. And I love doing music references because they're so easy to do. If you know a lot of songs, you could just play a song to a sentence. There you go, epic joke already.
Tried the Archdeacon.
Fuck you!
It was a lot funny back in the day. A lot funnier back then. But yeah, I never knew where the fuck you come from. It's from fucking RoboCop. Yeah. Okay. 9. It's 9. Spoilers. 9. 9 bells! Yeah. See, look, the colour is a lot better in this one. The other one, the colour was very greyed out. Here, the colour is quite full, so you probably got like a DVD or quality one.
Well, that's what you get for sleeping with your mum.
And the other thing is, this video doesn't have a bunch of, like, repeated jokes. I can't remember if this one was made first or the other one was made first. I think the other one was first, but this one doesn't do all the same jokes. There's all different jokes in this one, which makes it even better. It's two titans that stood throughout my history of watching these YouTube boops. Anyway. A fart noise.
Ever, ever?
Never ever.
Ever, ever?
Never ever.
Ever?
Never ever. And he hates the Feast of Fools.
Ever, ever?
Never ever. He'd be furious if I asked.
Ever, ever?
Never ever.
Nobody wants to stay cooped up here forever.
Ever, ever?
I'll go. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll get cleaned up. Yes, sir. I'll stroll down those stairs.
Have a look at question.
Oh, I like this joke.
15.
I love this joke. This is great. Who wants to be a millionaire? Can Stone talk? Yeah, this is a great joke. No, we can't. Final answer. Yeah, I love this part. Yeah, what is that?
You just won 1 million!
Yeah, it's so loud. Such a great joke, though.
Yes, master.
Oh, wait, I noticed that. That was one thing. It isn't really a joke, I guess, but they did the same thing, and the Mobros did the same thing, where instead of saying, yes, master, I'd love that very much, he cuts off the second half of the sentence. So he just says, yes, master, and it cuts to it. I don't know if it's just a coincidence. They both did it. I don't know.
Damnation. D. Eternal damnation.
Good. F. Fuck. Excuse me.
Gaze, gaze.
Gaze. It's so random. You see what I mean?
All right, Gypsy, where
It doesn't hold on a scene for too long, whereas Mobros did a lot of stare downs where you just have a freeze frame of the character looking annoyed or what the fuck face or something, and it would just hold on it. And in the old days that was kind of funny, but now it just makes the video really slow. Whereas here it does a joke, it does another little joke, and it moves on, snappy flow. It makes it funnier that you just keep moving on, you keep the rapid pace up.
Gypsy.
Anyway.
Your information, I earned it.
Gypsies don't earn gypsies. Troublemaker, huh? Maybe a day in the stocks will troublemaker, huh?
Okay, this isn't. No, this. I just tried to compliment this video and it just started becoming lame. Look, stop, don't. Okay.
Captain of the guard was a bit of a disappointment to me.
The fart noises.
Have you ever attended a gay festival?
Gay? They keep using that fucking clip of Quasi saying gays.
Not recently. So then this should be quite an education for you.
Yeah. Scene missing.
Bloody hell.
The time we crowned the king of fools! You all remember last year's king?
What?
Pull my finger.
Yeah. Justice. Yeah. I remember this so well.
Captain Phoebus?
Just a random clip of Alan Davies in QI. What the? You see what I mean? This is random clips that don't make sense, but they're so out of nowhere, so far out of left field, and they're so bizarre, you can't help but find it funny. It's great. I actually think so far this video is actually better than the other one. The jokes hold up at least. Oh yeah. I remember being hysterical at this gag, yeah. Yeah, because he's got a little beard, yeah. It's still good. What the fuck? You see what I mean with the random shit though? He's got a gun. I remember freaking the fuck out when I first watched this because I recognised those gunshot sounds immediately from PlayStation Doom, my favourite game of all time. I was like, ah, I can't believe it! Anyway, it doesn't matter though. I've seen it so far, most of these jokes hold up. Unlike the other one that used a lot of stare downs, stutter loops, and CDI Spadina references. This one doesn't use as many of all that. It doesn't use any stare downs. I don't think I've heard a single Spadina reference yet, although there might be one or two. And there's a few stutters, but they don't really last that long. They just happen and move on. And some of them are kind of funny, like the guy under the horse. That was kind of funny.
A vision of loveliness.
The one in the dress.
Yes, I know. That's what I...
Give her some slouch, then reel her in. Then give her some slouch, then reel her in. Then give her some slouch.
Shit! Beautiful. Still remember how it goes.
Which one of you cute little cupcakes wants to give me a blowjob?
Yeah, it was an easy scene for a punchline. It would be the sort of thing that if it happened today, if it became popular today, it would be one of those memes like Peter hurting his knee and shit, where it's just one punchline, you know? Whether the guard opens the door and says something, it's some sort of interruption that's a reference to something else, and then Frodo tells him to go away. It's a perfect setup for one of those memes where people just insert their own punchline in. I'm so glad it didn't become a thing, though. I'm glad this was so long ago before that shit that it didn't get caught up in that crap. This precious movie will not be tainted.
Right, sir. Are you feeling all right?
I got a bad fucking hangover, all right?
It's good. Very good reference.
Sir?
Let's get drunk.
You see what I mean? This is good. I keep saying you see what I mean, but you see what I'm talking about now. All this time. I know this one was good.
Promise you won't let anything happen to him.
Promise.
The sound effect. The sound effect choice is great.
Was kind to me, master.
You idiot!
That wasn't kindness, she's a cunt.
Oh, I was waiting for that bit because I wanted to. Now that I've done a lot of sentence mixing in my time and I've heard a lot, now I can analyze it with an expertise point of view. Because back then it sounded great, right? But these days I might be able to point out if it sounds a tiny bit choppy or it could be better. Nah, man, that shit still sounds great. To this day, that sounded clean. Nice job, man.
Phoebus. And look what else I've caught in my net. Captain Phoebus back from the dead.
Twat, yeah. Man, this is so much better. It's just held up more. Oh yeah, this is a great scene. A great joke here. The sentence, and he never gets a chance to fucking read it because the drummers keep fucking interrupting him. Yeah. Louder, and they drum louder. This is still so great. This one definitely holds up way more than the other one. Wow.
Burn it.
Burn it.
I'm not wearing any panties.
Wrong room. Yeah, I remember this. I didn't even get the joke, but it's just wrong.
Nope. Wrong again.
That's from The Lion King.
Wrong again.
That little honk.
I should have known you'd risk your life to save that gypsy bitch.
Bitch. The honk. I'm not wearing any panties. Again, it's just there. It just comes back. Love recurring jokes. Yeah, okay, I'll tell you what, that one held up a lot more than the other one. There were basically no Spadina references. I don't think there was a single one, unless I forgot. But I don't think I picked out a single one there. There were no long stare down scenes or, you know, I think what it is that the other one, Mobro's one, was like a... I couldn't tell back then because it all seemed the same to me, but Mobro's one is like a YouTube poop of its time. It's a YouTube poop from 2011, 2012. It's one of those older style ones, whereas this one has is a newer style. Not quite up to date to this day, but it definitely holds up way more than the other one. Most of the jokes are just really funny references and good gags that don't age, that don't get a bit watered out and like boring, and you know, if you ain't seen it in a while, definitely check this shit out. Go watch it for yourself. It's great. obviously, I know you've seen it. If you've watched up to this point, you've seen the video, albeit with me interrupting it. But you should go and give it a watch anyway if you haven't already seen it. Go and enjoy it in all its glory, because it's just great. Now I know this one is definitely better. And now for the third one that I watched that day. Now, the problem with this one is the person who first made it, Alvin YTP, he removed his channel or something, or it got terminated for some reason or another, or the copyright or some bullshit. I don't know. I don't know the story. All I know is one day it disappeared and his video disappeared as well. Now, the thing about this video is it's been re-uploaded, but it's in really poor quality. But we can still watch it. We can just pretend it's a really old video from the old times. But, oh, GoopVids too. It's GoopVids who re-uploaded it. So thank God he did, because this was one of the best poops I'd ever watched. And I know a lot of people who have seen this and know this poop know that it's not the most original YouTube poop. It copied a lot of jokes, and it's not the most clever YouTube poop because it doesn't really use any sentence mixing, if at all. It uses like a tiny bit, barely any. Most of the jokes are very simple and repetitive, and I'm probably about to eat my words in a minute when I find out this poop isn't as funny as it seemed to be, but I remember this being the funniest YouTube poop I'd ever watched for many years. Of course, years later I found ones that were really funny, that were made in future years, but for a long time this was one of the funniest YouTube poops I'd ever seen. It wasn't the most original or clever. It copied some jokes and it did some stuff, but like very simple edits, and it wasn't very innovative. It wasn't very inspiring or brilliant masterpieceful or whatever. But the jokes it did do, it was just the pacing of the video, the joke, like that, the great formula of it that I was talking about before, and it just. And every joke is just, if you haven't really seen YouTube poop before and you're not used to the Spadina, there are Spadina jokes in this, by the way, but if you haven't really seen them and you just hear all these silly references spouted out and the clips, it's basically the combination of the last two videos we just watched, but with Aladdin instead of Hunchback, but combining the two styles, but even better. It's just so perfect. I see it as a shining example of how to do a YouTube poop funny with minimal effort. So let's give it a watch and see if it's held up after all these years. Mushu, Awaken. This random clip at the beginning from Mulan has nothing to do with the movie. But I just saw this as part and parcel of the video, because I feel like, because with the Gertelish one, he started off with the Disney intro and this random movie clip. It seemed normal to me that YouTube poop would just start with something unrelated, like a little, not teaser, but like when a movie starts, you get like a little trailer or something. It's not a trailer, but it's like just a little, what's it called when you get like a comedian and they got like a little act the starter act or whatever they call, like the little act that's lesser known that does a little bit for a couple of minutes before the main show comes on. It's like that, just a few seconds, but it's like a little gag at the beginning before you do the YouTube intro. And yes, this has the classic YouTube intro. Die! There it is again. Because YouTube is where the poop is. I'm gonna bring that shit back, man. I miss that. I found a HD version of this intro. Someone remade it with like all HD and shit. I want to bring that shit back. Make a Michael Rosen version of it, because I miss this intro. I miss the old intros. Then nobody uses it anymore. And I know there's going to be someone out there that goes, I use it, or this guy still uses it. I know, but I mean, when I say nobody, I mean the majority just don't use it anymore. It takes you back. It's almost nostalgic. YouTube is over 10 years old now. It should be kind of nostalgic for it at this point. Hey, how long before Nostalgia Critic reviews poops? Hey, I'll do it. I'll review poops. I'm doing it now. Okay, let's get started. And the other thing is, not quite as many times as Hunchback maybe, but I've seen Aladdin a fuck ton of times as well. Another one of my favourite Disney films, so again, I know when you know the source material really well, with this style of YouTube with all the references and making fun of the source, mockery and that style is best watched when you know the source material really well. If it's a film you've seen loads of times or a TV show you know and love, you're going to find the jokes funnier because you know what's going to be said and what's being made fun of exactly. You know what the joke is playing off of. Anyway. A bagel. This scene gets played a lot. And then running over the coals. Oh, no. I'm going to regret bigging up this video, aren't I? I'm going to regret bigging it up at the beginning before I started watching. I said it was the best, funniest poop ever. I'm going to start thinking that I'm wrong now, aren't I? No, I swear to God, it gets good. I swear.
Still good.
See, it's again with this, I've seen this recurring theme of like, you do these jokes with the scene, and then you keep cutting back to this either recurring joke or random joke that breaks up into segments. It breaks the scenes up into segments, and I think that's a very good way of doing it, because you could just make a poop that goes scene to scene all the way through the film, whatever. But when you break it up with these little gags, either recurring or not, random, it definitely helps with the flow and the formula of the video, the flow of the jokes and that. It helps break it up into segments a bit more, and even if it's not that funny, it's just the dudes walking over, running over the coals over and over. It's not even funny, but it helps. And also, every time he brings this joke back, it's a little bit different. Here it's zoomed in, other times it will be reversed or pitched up, pitched down, faster, slower. So each time this joke comes back, you'll notice that it's done in a different way. So when you want to do recurring jokes, even if it's not even that funny, if you do it slightly differently each time you bring it back, it keeps it fresh. Oh no. I think that's where my love of ear rape came from, because I enjoy ear rape if it's used in the right way. If it's just loud noises all the way through, it's not really interesting. But when you get like a little, like a build-up and a punchline like that, and you know in the original film it's like a line that you can make fun of, rather tasty, you know someone's going to do something crazy with it. When it's an exploitable line of dialogue like that. When it's like someone shouting. It broke. Yeah. And then I'm going backwards. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so I know it's the Macarena, but when I first saw this, I remember at this very moment, I was already reeling in from all the laughs at the previous jokes, because you can see so far, even though I keep stopping the video, the shit is very fast-paced, considering for the time as well. The jokes are coming at you hard and fast, so even if they're not that funny, they're over before you've even taken it in properly, so you're on to the next joke immediately. It keeps it so fresh. So I was still recovering from laughter from the previous jokes when I first watched this 6 years ago, but when this come up, I was still laughing off the previous shit, but then this killed me. When they say I died at this bit, I pretty much died here. This was when what I was talking about, six-pack hurting. I was laughing so hard at this part. My stomach, my abs were fucking killing me. I was like in pain, I was laughing so hard. I couldn't breathe. I remember that. I'll never ever forget that. I wish I could find videos that make me laugh that hard these days, but I just can't. I'm too desensitized and too gotten used to seeing everything. I've seen it all, man. But yeah, it's just them doing the monkeys. You see the monkeys, and it's just the Macarena put over it. It's not even making me laugh at all now. But I vividly remember back then I was fucking dying at this part. Yeah. I guess it helps that I never saw anything like it. Okay.
Princess.
Yeah. He's like, keep.
Look at that, Abu. It's not every day you see a horse with two fingers.
Wario, yeah, Master now. Heavy. Yeah. And there's the fucking coals again. It's not even the end of the scene. It's still got more jokes with the same gag, but he still broke it up with the coal running guys.
Mario, destroy
Mario. Yeah. Oh my god, the guy with the grin.
Excuse me.
It's gonna be Shoot the Whoop. Just a spoiler. I know it. Yeah. Okay, these jokes aren't making me laugh, but I can identify that if you're a young kid or something, you watch this for the first time, you will find this funny. I don't care. I don't care. If you're like, how old? I was like 16 or 15 when I first watched this shit, but I don't care, okay? If you're like a kid or a young teenager and you've never seen YouTube before and it's the first day you watched it and the only things you watched were these 3 videos that I watched today, you will find this funny. I don't care.
Looks like such a beat-up, worthless piece of shit.
Shit!
I think there's something written here, but
it's hard to make out.
it's hard to make out.
And then later on, the genie kisses him and it's like, it's hard to make out. Again with a Shoot the Whoop.
I think we did that joke
Oh, hey, Mad Moth's cameo. I've totally forgot about that.
already.
Sit down! The first thing he says is shout, sit down.
10,000
Balls. I know what's coming.
Such a crick in the
And now I know all these little quotes like the balls, the pingus and all that. I know where they all come from now. The balls is Yoshi in the Mario World cartoon or whatever it was, saying balls.
Look at me from the side. Do I look different to you? Please.
Come closer. Ah, yeah, that's a good joke.
Focus.
Go, 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 go.
Silence!
I give you. Okay, that's a good joke. That's a good joke. See, there are loads of good jokes in here. Oh no. When the scene pops up, I remember the joke that's about to be made, and I'm just like, oh no, I know what's coming. You know the lame joke that's coming. Here it comes. Yeah.
Hi, where are you from? What's your name?
That's great. That's still good. He should have like edited the Aladdin sign in the back. I guess it wasn't. Again, he didn't use much effort, like I say. But if I was to make this, I would make like the word in the back say as well. I'd go the whole hog.
How about
Rule number one. And the coal there, the coals again. Yeah, it's still doing it. Oh man. But you see what I mean about how great this fucking video is? Even if you don't find it funny, you have to admit the structure of this video with the jokes is just so well done. It's just the perfect combination of order of gags. I love it.
love with anybody else?
It's hard to make out. Yeah. I love it. Big butts and I can't. Like, yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's obvious. And kaboom. Yeah. Oh, you better believe there's a what the fuck boom joke in here. I remember, there is. It's coming. It's gonna do like a loud ear rape close-up of his face. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah, I love it. We've all got penis. Yeah. Don't worry, when I watch the collab videos, I'm not gonna go through it like saying all the jokes before they come. It's only because I've seen these videos so much that I'm gonna keep saying the jokes before they come. I won't do this with the other videos that I'm gonna watch in the next video, okay? Relax. I'm gonna keep stopping it and reviewing them, but I'm not gonna try and predict what's happening. I might predict some jokes that seem to be obvious if they're coming, but I won't constantly try and say what's coming up. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. He just does the whole scene. There was a time where I watched this, when I first watched this, and I didn't know what the dialogue was from. Yeah, there was a time where I didn't know the you done goofed cyber police talk from the father of, oh, what's the fucking name? Jesse Slaughter or some shit.
And I know who's emailing and who's doing it, and you'll be reported to the cyber police
and the state police.
So you better write one more thing, or screw with my computer again, you'll be arrested.
Yeah.
And if you come near my daughter, guess what?
Consequences will never be the same. You lying bunch of pricks. And that fits with him saying sit down. So he kind of synced it up well. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll get over it. This bit takes a bit too long. Is one criticism of this video. This one gag here goes on for a bit too long. It's not funny. There we go. And this scene here I never found very funny, but I might look at it in a new light now because I know what it is.
Robotnik's Emporium.
Yeah.
Lamp oil. Rope. Bombs.
For God's sake, come on!
Today's topic: fears of the future family.
Right, so it's the genie from either Aladdin, Return of Jafar, or King of Thieves. One of the 2 or 3, one of those. But it's the Dan Castellaneta genie, which is nowhere near as good. It's Discount Genie.
Dr. Ivo Robotnik.
Share with us.
You can call me the distinguished Dr. Robotnik.
This isn't funny.
Don't bet on it. So, what are you up to now? Catching Sonic the Hedgehog.
Get a little deeper.
Now,
Deeper.
today, he's mine for...
Deeper.
No.
Deep.
You bumbling barrel of
Sit down! Okay, that is funny.
sake, that better have been a wrong number.
Yeah, I like how he reacted to it as well. Fuck's sake, yeah, that was good. But everything that followed up, that led up to it, was just not that fun. It was boring. Anyway. He's gonna do an ear rape close-up of him. You know it's coming. Or is he? Let me see. No? Oh no, he does that. He does like a loud close-up of Jafar grabbing him. You know, if he plays out a scene for a long time or over and over, it's gonna end up and it's gonna climax with like an ear rape close-up of either the character doing the same clip again or a consequence of him doing it. So that in that case, Jafar grabbing him. Oh, the obvious jokes are obvious now. The calls are still going. We're 5.5 minutes in the video and he hasn't forgotten about that fucking clip with the guys on the calls.
What do you need? What do you need?
What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And he just poofs loads of time. What do you need?
What do you
Sit down. And he actually shows the clip of Aladdin sitting down as well. He doesn't cut from the shout. He actually shows Aladdin sitting down every time. So just to make sure you understand, he followed the order as well. There was a time in old YouTube groups where Ouija was fucking everywhere. I rarely ever see Ouija anymore. That's another thing. First the intro, now the Ouija thing. I just realised I never see him anymore. Wow, he used to always be in these videos somewhere. He'd pop up on the screen or in the corner. I'm damn near, I've covered 50 minutes already. Oh my god. Yeah.
That's better. Now.
Something funny happens and his jaw opens larger. I remember. Yeah. This is long.
Pussy, pussy, pussy.
Pussy, pussy.
Don't talk back to me, you big blue
Pussy.
The calls.
Your
Yes.
Majesty? I have
Abubu, ababwa, abubu, ababwa, abubu, ababwa. I'm sorry, I keep saying the jokes before they come. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, there it is. Booba, booba.
Whatever.
I can't believe it.
Oh yeah, this was the other joke that really cracked me up. So first it was the Macarena bit, and then it was this. It's just the fucking Rodney Dangerfield impression, but when he played Shaka on Macaron over it, and again, at this time, I didn't know what Rodney Dangerfield was, I didn't know what the reference was, I didn't know what Shaka on Macaron was, I didn't know what anything was when I first watched these, but I still found it so damn funny, because I knew the scene where he did the impression, and the music, oh my god, I found this music so fucking funny when I first heard it. Yeah. It just really fits with this clip of him looking like a moron. Enough.
How do I
yeah.
look?
A prick. A prick! Yeah, that fit, that was good. It's Ali! So many jokes!
Tell me the truth.
Oh my god. You get a funny joke and it just immediately gets followed up with another funny joke and you ain't got time to reel in. I love it.
The truth?
Yeah. Okay, this is a slow joke. Like I say, some moments are slower than others, but the moments where the jokes are fast are great. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
He can't fucking explain. He puts his hat back on like he's getting scared.
But I really am a prince.
Fucking feather.
I hate you.
Oh, the fuck shoot the whoop 3 times in one video. Mayday. Don't know where that laugh is from. It's probably really obvious, I just don't know it. The power of 3, everybody.
Your line is, I'm going to fuck the genie.
Fuck! Link saying it.
Anytime.
Anytime. Anytime.
Anytime.
I love this. Yeah, these are great.
Anytime. Anytime.
Genie, I can't.
Sure you can. You just go.
No, it's not. I'm being over the top. I'm laughing forced. It's not that funny, but my god, I just remember it being so damn hilarious back then. That was one of the funniest moments for me in this whole video, and then he brought it back a second time. I was dying. Okay. Enough. The Coles! Still the fucking Coles! I'm gonna miss the Coles when his video's done. I should have to fucking... If I ever do an Aladdin poop, I gotta remember to do tributes to Alvin YTP with the Cole dudes. I gotta do it.
Nothing! You lose!
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir! Genie, I'm really sorry.
Oh my god, 4 of them!
In that case, I is gonna kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself right now. That's all of it.
See, at least it lives up to it, because there's a lot of YouTube poops back then, like Gertalish's ones, and Mobro's one, Frodo opens Catholic school, Frodo's an alcoholic. There are no moments in the video where it really lives up to the title. There seems to be this recurring trend in YouTube poops of doing a title that has absolutely nothing to do with the content of the video. It just mentions one of the characters in the video, but it says them doing something that doesn't actually happen. And I credited this video because it actually did live up to the title. This is the part where he does commit suicide, like in the fucking title of the video.
Let's do it. You.
And there you go, he did it. That's it.
Die.
Die! Yeah, look, it's all quiet, and it's just waiting for a joke to happen. Because you don't hear anything for a good couple of seconds. You know, it's coming. Die! Oh, it's great.
You stupid bastard.
I don't remember that at all, that line. Made by Alvin Earthworm, or Alvin YTP as he used to be known at the time. But yeah, well done, man. Fucking bravo. That was class, man. Is there going to be one more clip of the Cole guys? One more clip, come on. Oh, no, it's this. Yeah, I was hoping for one more clip of the Cole dudes, but that's fine. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. So, okay. It only took me 55 fucking minutes, but I finally watched the 3 first YouTube poops I ever watched in order. My god. So looking back, there's a lot of Spadina, Shoop the Whoop, and old memes and jokes that aren't funny anymore, at least to me now. They have not aged well, but there were still some great moments in all 3 of them. But there are still moments that hold up to this day. You could pick and choose, pick apart the parts that aren't that good and just select the ones that are. But honestly, these 3 videos for me are like 3 titans, 3 kings. They stand... I know there's loads of YouTube poops out there that are probably better than this. Same people who made these made much better, I know. And like I was saying, there's probably much better YouTube poops of the exact same source material, but because of the sentimental value I hold dear to these 3 videos, they were the 3 videos I watched first, and it was only these 3, by the way. I don't remember watching any more that one day. I did go back like days later and watch more and more and more, and that's how I found Nostalgia Critic and Frollo Show and all the rest of it. But it was just these 3. I was absolutely in stitches, and then after that day, I found myself constantly quoting the video, like saying the jokes to myself and fucking thinking about them all the time because of how absolutely hilariously hysterical they were. Man, I'm not doing it anymore. I love the clip with the Cole guys. I can't get over that. But I just don't feel the same way anymore. And I look back on it and it's kind of sad because 6 years later, I just don't look at them in the same way. Every time I watch YouTube poops, I tend to watch them like I was doing this video, reviewing them, like fucking Simon Cowell on Judge Talent shows, watching the performance, judging the shit. I don't watch it to enjoy them much anymore. I try to enjoy them, but subconsciously I always find myself just judging them and critiquing them and basically doing a review and a structured form of review rather than just watching it for the fun of it and enjoying it. I miss doing that and I miss laughing hysterically at these videos because I never really do anymore. I crack up at a few gags here and there, but never even half as much as I laughed back then 6 years ago, and I'm always on the lookout for a gold video that manages to make me lose my shit again because it's so fucking rare these days. But yeah, that's the first 3 videos of YouTube poop that I ever watched. Credit to Mobro Studios, Gertalish, and the late Alvin YTP. I don't know if he actually died, but I mean like his channel died, so Alvin YTP. I have all 3 of these videos saved and backed up, but yeah, here's to 6 more years, I guess, because no doubt I'm going to keep doing YouTube poop till the day I die. Alright, so coming up next on this channel will be me watching at last watching the Michael Rosen birthday collabs. There'll be plenty of disclaimers and shit to go through. I got 3 hours of 71st and 1.5 hours of 72nd to watch through, so you guys are going to stick around for that, I hope. For those very few people that even watch shit on this channel, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something, or if you haven't watched either of these 3 videos, please go check them out. They're great, as you can see. But I'll see you in the next one, guys. Goodbye.